I've been thinking back about Monster Hunter quite a lot recently, the different games over the last years and how the experience slightly differs over time. From different weapon combos to learn, to new and returning monsters, the characters, and of course the collaboration and event quests. The thing is, there's several monsters that I just can't get out of my head when I look back. One that comes to mind is Devil Joe and how intense and furious that pickle is. Of course, Alatreon stands out to me and how I had to practice against it solo over and over again until I got a hunt time that I was happy with. And of course, even Fatalis, because no matter what game it's in, it's a complete monster to fight. But there's one that stands out to me and is still fresh in my memory, and that's Behemoth and Extreme Behemoth. When it comes to this monster, I can't help but realize how insane this collaboration actually is and the fact that it even existed at all. If you told me many years ago that one day we would be fighting a Final Fantasy Behemoth but in Monster Hunter, and it's going to be one of not only the most difficult monsters in the game, but also one of the most spectacular fights, I would just straight up not believe it. I'm sure I'm not the only one with a sense of accomplishment for beating Extreme Behemoth. It's still fresh in my memory even though it's now over 4 years ago. And for me, this in of itself is a sign of a spectacular piece of content. And that's not even going over all of the other incredible things we've had in Monster Hunter games over the last few years. It's truly a special series with so much replayability, unique experiences, and a satisfying skill curve with so much to learn even after thousands of hours of gameplay. Let me know if you feel the same down in the comments below. As you may know by now, we really like the Monster Hunter series, so we set out to create and publish these official Monster Hunter plushies, the Ponchies. They're a palico wearing iconic monster ponchos, kind of like armor. There's a Rathalos, Zinogre, Nogagonte, Paolumo, and even the palico on its own if you prefer. You can even remove the ponchos if you want to. We're so proud of these and how they turned out, so if you like the look of them, you can grab them with the link in the description down below. Well, thinking back to Behemoth and even the other insanely good collaborations like the Witcher crossover with the Leshen and Ancient Leshen, it has me stuck on the fact that we need more content like this, because you only really realize what you had once it's gone. If you've played Monster Hunter Rise, then you no doubt know that the collaborations and event quests have been a little bit lackluster at best. Some of them have been pretty cool, like the Akami Palamute skin or the Sonic Palico skin, but if you compare them to the experience that was Extreme Behemoth, it just doesn't quite translate for me. Now, these are made from different teams and they are different games and they were launched on different consoles, so that does need to be taken into account. But I just dread the thought that what if we never get another amazingly difficult and unique monster like Behemoth or the Ancient Leshen ever again. When you consider that Behemoth had crazy abilities like dropping meteors, summoning bolts of thunder, sending whirlwinds out, and even its own mechanics and an instant party wipe, it was basically like a raid in a hunt. You ideally needed a solid team to take it down, with set roles for each player, one being a tank to hit its head and keep the Behemoth's enmity, which is kind of like its aggro, another mechanic that it had. You wanted someone on healing duty so that the rest of the team would be able to DPS as much as possible because you had to hit those DPS thresholds, otherwise you were just wiped out by its ecliptic meteor move, and that move was so powerful it would cart you no matter where you were on the map. So for me, these are the kind of hunts that make an impact, and that's what makes memories. Of course, there were other hunts that were also very difficult and memorable, but with this one being a collaboration and event quest, Behemoth just is pretty high up there for me. As a big supporter and lover of the series, I do put my faith in them to bring back amazing collaborations like this, possibly for the next Monster Hunter title. But I've had it stuck in my mind and replaying about these amazing things that happened in the past that we haven't had in quite a while, and it just made me really miss them. Sometimes I do wonder if it's just me in my head thinking this, maybe it's just the nostalgia that's clouding my judgment, but again, these were the hunts and the memories that stuck with me over the years when I think back fondly about Monster Hunter. Overall, I am incredibly excited about what's next for Monster Hunter. I'm sure they're going to absolutely nail it, and this was just me thinking back fondly on certain things that we haven't had in the recent releases. I really cannot wait for what's next in the series, and I can't wait to jump in and learn everything I can and share it with you guys. So if you've made it this far, you've heard me talk about my memories from Monster Hunter World and Iceborne with Extreme Behemoth and how it's just stuck with me over the years, and I'd love to hear yours too down in the comments below. Let's get nostalgic together. And if you do enjoy these kind of videos, you can show support by clicking like down below and subscribing so you don't miss out on the next one. The two videos on screen now we think you'll really enjoy if you did enjoy this one. Of course, you don't have to click them or watch them, but if you found this one interesting, you're probably going to like these too. And then tell us what you think after watching in the comments down below.